Good evening. This is 7 o'clock news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Excellency, the Indian Prime Minister, arrives in the Sultanate tomorrow on a two-day visit, during which he will be given an audience by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmoud receives His Excellency the Director General of the World Health Organization. The Sultanate is to celebrate Omani Industry Day tomorrow, and more than 1.8 billion Omani Riyals is the contribution of the industrial sector to the Sultanate's gross domestic product. And the Israeli military shoots down an Iranian drone near Syria. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Saeed has sent a cabal of greetings to His Excellency President Dr. Hassan Rouhani of the Islamic Republic of Iran on the occasion of his country's National Day. Within the framework of the existing cooperation between the Sultanate and India, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will arrive tomorrow in the Sultanate on an official two-day visit, during which he will be given an audience by His Majesty the Sultan. The Indian Prime Minister will be accompanied by a delegation comprising a number of high-ranking officials in the Indian government. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, received today His Excellency Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, Director General of World Health Organization (WHO), who is currently on a visit to the Sultanate, heading a delegation from the organization to participate in the launching ceremony of the National Policy and Multi-Sectorial Task Plan for Non-Communicable Diseases Prevention and Combating. After welcoming His Excellency, the guest and his delegation, His Highness expressed the Sultanate's appreciation of the distinguished role being played by the WHO in enhancing contact and providing best health services for the world countries. He also affirmed that the Sultanate, under the leadership of His Majesty the Sultan, is keen to provide all capabilities to protect the health of citizens and provide complete health care for them, praising efforts of the Ministry of Health to accomplish national policy for disease combating, which is considered a qualitative leap in the health sector in the Sultanate. The talks during the meeting dealt with consultation and cooperation ways between the Sultanate and the WHO in the fields of health care, treatment services, and ways to fight all types of diseases. They also discussed the importance of exchanging expertise between the two sides. From his side, His Excellency the Director General of WHO expressed the organization's appreciations for efforts being exerted by the Sultanate to develop health services, which makes the Sultanate occupies an international position in the health field, praising care and the attention being given to Omani citizens within the framework of comprehensive development being witnessed by the country. He also stressed the organization's readiness to place its expertise in available capabilities at the disposal of the Sultanate, especially with regards to the exerted efforts to raise awareness about health aspects and implement the national policy and tasks plan for disease prevention, which earlier had gained the appreciation of the WHO. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed bin Ubaid Al Saidi, Minister of Health, and His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Talib Al Hinai, and the Secretary of the Ministry of Health for Planning Affairs. Her Excellency Dr. A.K. Jamal Magatimova, WHO representative to the Sultanate, and Her Excellency Dr. Stevlano Accelerado, Assistant Director General for Non-Communicable Diseases and Psychological Health at the WHO, and Her Excellency Ambassador Michel Bocos, Assistant Director General for External Affairs at WHO. The Sultan, represented by the Minister of Commerce and Industry, celebrates tomorrow Omani Industry Day, which falls on the 9th of February every year. The latest statistics issued by the Minister of Commerce and Industry stated that contribution of manufacturing industries to the Sultanate gross domestic product reached more than 1.8 billion Omani Riyals by the end of September 2017, compared to more than 1.6 billion Omani Riyals during the same period of 2016, increasing by 11.9%. Public establishments for industrial estates achieved advanced growth rates in various fields in 2017. More than 17 investments contracts were signed for the project of expanding Garusel industrial estates, in addition to accomplishing 70% of the infrastructure project of Samail Industrial Estate. Tender Board also floated a number of tenders to expand Nizwa Industrial Estate, beside a number of economic and investments projects in various governorates of the Sultanate. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. Saturday market at Al Moj, Muscat is a mobile exhibition for products of small and medium enterprises. Welcome back to the Sultanate of Oman television. The Israeli military shot down an Iranian drone. It said they infiltrated the country early today before launching a large-scale attack on at least a dozen Iranian and Syrian targets inside Syria. Responding anti-aircraft fire led to the droning of an Israeli fighter jet. Israel said that drone infiltration was a severe and irregular violation of Israeli sovereignty and warned of further action against unprecedented Iranian aggression. The military said its planes faced massive anti-aircraft fire from Syria that forced two pilots to abandon an F-16 jet that crashed in northern Israel. One pilot was seriously wounded and other lightly. Syrian officials reported large explosions in the center of the country, and the Syrian counter-fire set off warning sirens throughout northern Israel. But the Joint Operations Room for the Syrian military and its allies denied the drone violated Israeli airspace, saying it was on a regular mission gathering intelligence on Daesh militants. Egypt began a massive security operation involving land, sea and air forces in areas including the restive northern Sinai Peninsula, the epicenter of an insurgency spearheaded by a local affiliated of the Islamic State group. The operation began yesterday and covers central Sinai areas in Egypt's Nile Delta and Western Desert. The Air Force carried out airstrikes on militants' hideouts in north and central Sinai. The naval forces were deployed to cut off the militant supply lines. That security has been boosted around the country's borders, crossing shipping routes and vital facilities. Security officials said the forces killed at least 20 militants in the northern Sinai town of Burj Al Abd. They added that militants are also being targeted south and west of the town of Rafah on the border with the Gaza Strip. 2 soldiers were killed and 3 others wounded in Indian-controlled Kashmir today as soldiers traded fire with armed militants who were holed up inside an army camp. The gun battle began in the early morning and continued into the afternoon. By the evening, the militants had been contained in one part of the camp's residential quarters. The camp is located on the outskirts of the city of Jammu. The area was cordoned off and schools were closed. The Himalayan region of Kashmir is divided between India and neighbor Pakistan. Both claim the region in its entirety. Several militant groups have been fighting for Kashmir's independence from India or its merger with Pakistan since 1989. Around 70,000 people have been killed in the uprising. South Korean President Moon Jae-in today received an invitation from North Korea to attend the summit there. Moon received the invitation from Kim Yoon-jung, sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, on day 2 of North Korean delegation's trip to the south to coincide with the start of the 2018 Winter Olympics. Nothing has been settled on any trip to North by Moon, but the verbal invitation message to Kim come at a convenient time from Kim Jong-un is part of a sudden rush of improving feelings between the rivals during the Pyeongchang Olympics. The launch at Seoul's presidential mansion between Moon and Kim Yong-jong is the most significant diplomatic encounter between the rivals in years. The night before, Kim Yong-jong and other North Korean delegates attended the opening ceremony of the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, watching a unified Korean team march under a banner showing an undivided Korean peninsula. A winter storm that pounded the U.S. Midwest caused at least 2 deaths while closing schools and forcing the cancellation of hundreds of flights. Snow-related crushed snarled highways across southern Michigan, with 1 person killed when a semi-trailer struck the rear of a car stopped in traffic on US 23 near Flint. A pileup on the highway just east of Kalamazoo in southwestern Michigan collected 38 vehicles, including 16 semi-trailers in the eastbound lanes. In Naperville, Illinois, just west of Chicago, a man in his 60s died after suffering a heart attack while shoveling snow. More than 1,000 flights were canceled at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport, and more than 300 were canceled at Midway. More than 260 flights were canceled at Detroit Metropolitan Airport in Romulus, Michigan. Chicago Departments of Streets and Sanitation Commissioner John Tooley said 300 salt-spreading plows hit the streets and would continue their work through the weekend. Oman Aviation Academy signed 2 agreements related to management of the projects of developing infrastructure facilities and commercial identity of the aviation. The first agreement relates to appointing manager for THIB project of developing the aviation infrastructure. The second agreement relates to preparing commercial identity of the aviation and its marketing plan, which will be implemented by small and medium-sized enterprises. The estimated cost of Oman Aviation Academy building reached 5,500,000 Omani Riyals. The building includes lectures and training halls, administration building and other services facilities. It's worth mentioning that the training program of the Academy will kick off on March in cooperation with Sultan Qaboos University and Oman Air. The Sultanate achieved the first place in the 60th World Jamboree in the air and World Jamboree on the Internet, which the activities were held at International Maritime College Oman in the Governorate of North Al Bathina during October 2017. That came in a report issued by World Health Organization of the Scout movement, in which it also announced results of the countries participating in the after day. After days of family activities and event, the Muscat Festival for this year will conclude this evening. The festival started on the 18th of last January. It includes a number of social, cultural and artistic events. The festival has attracted all segments of the society to enjoy its activities. It contains shopping and craft industries, exhibition, children and educational activities and cultural events. In an initiative considered the first in the South on a Saturday market exhibition at Al Moj Muscat hosts more than 80 markets outlets for small and medium enterprises. The market opens its doors every Saturday for buyers. It came to encourage owners of small and medium enterprises to promote their products in various ways. The exhibition also aims to attract tourists and visitors to the Sultanate to get acquainted with Omani craft industries and products. And now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the governorate of Al-Sharqiyya and Al-Wusta and coastal areas of Sea of Oman. Winds will be southerly to southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. More details on your screen. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Excellency, the Indian Prime Minister, arrives in the Sultanate tomorrow on a two-day visit during which he will be given an audience by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud receives His Excellency, the Director General of World Health Organization. The Sultanate is to celebrate Oman Industry Day tomorrow, and more than 1.8 million or billion Omani Riyals is the contribution of the industrial sector to the Sultanate's gross domestic product. And Israel conducts airstrikes on Syria after Syrian air defense shoots down one of its fighter jets. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. From the entire news team and myself, we do thank you for joining us. Wish you a pleasant evening and good night.